What up? What's happening? We're gonna wait for some people to get in here. Once y'all get in here, give me a thumbs up, show some attendance. Yo, shoot. Let me know if I how I'm sounding. Let me know how I'm looking. What's going on, people out there in the world? Welcome to Trucking Truth Live. I'm your boy Aaron Hamilton. What's happening? Who I got in here? OG Trucking. What's happening, sir? What's happening? Appreciate you. I got another person up in here. Can you hear me good? Can you see me, or do I look like shit? I already know I'm ugly as hell, so y'all ain't got. You can say the jokes. I got the jokes. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? So basically, this is a Q&A. Y'all, first off, before I say that, I know the video says untitled. It meant to say numbers don't lie, setting up your foundation part 2. Okay? But for some reason, when I updated YouTube, it fucked my shit up. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So I apologize for it saying untitled. What's going on, Skinny Wild? Welcome to the building. Who else we got in here? We got 7 people. 1 like. Hit the thumbs up. So if anyone got any questions that they would like to ask me about this particular video, this part 1 and part 2 right here is a great time to sit here and let's chat it out. If there's anything that you don't know, if there's anything that you would like to know, let me know, because I would definitely love to answer anybody's questions. And if you guys can't tell by now, at least in the last 2 numbers don't lie video, as an owner operator and people who's looking to come in as an owner operator, I obviously know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not no guru, I'm not no expert. I'm just giving you guys real methods and a real how-to way to become a successful owner operator. You got Right Lane Carriers in the building, local gang up in here. OG, I believe OG Trucking is a local owner operator as well. I could be wrong, but I think he is. So anybody got any questions? You not local, OG? Oh, waste management. That's a good job. I ain't even going front. Boo Magoo is in the building. Oh, you're not an owner op. You're not an owner op. What's going on? Captain America's right here. Actually, I just got done watching the Civil War. Captain America versus Iron Man, basically. Just got done watching it. It's a good movie. Yeah, I know I had to wear this shirt. I had to re-wear this shirt just in case. I got, because I know I'm being watched now. I know people are watching me, so I had to make sure that I got the shirt on so they know this is the right guy. Ratland Carriers asked about what do I think about them glider kits. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I think about glider kits. I think it's a good idea, but it also could be a costly idea at the same time. I think glider kits, I think those are awesome. I really do think them awesome, because in my mind, it combines new school technology with old school technology. I got Cujo Trucking in here, or Kojo Trucking in here. Sorry if I fucked your name up, buddy. He said, what up, big homie? Like the info you drop. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Right, glider kits, they're expensive, though. But I think I think the idea of it, a glider kit is basically like a new truck, like a new Cascadia or a new Pro Star, right? Brand new, sitting on a brand new frame, but everything in it, like the engine, is like an old Cat or old Detroit 60 series rebuilt, and it's all put together. You got a brand new, basically 2017, 2018 truck, or newer truck. Let me just say it like that, so no one can say I'm giving that wrong information. But it's got all the amenities of like what our newer trucks have, without the ECM, without the stupid DEF, without all of that extra bull stuff, bull crap that we got to deal with. That's a glider kit. And believe it or not, I prefer a glider kit over this here Cascadia. Just for the simple fact it's more reliable, it's more dependable, and you ain't got to worry about the stupid DEF problems that a lot of trucks have, you know, because of the emissions. You know, one of our biggest assets is also one of our biggest problems. Our biggest asset is technology, but it's also our biggest problems. You know, like a GPS, right? Believe it or not, the GPS took map reading out the equation. Not a lot of truckers, not a lot of new school truckers know how to read a map. I was, you know, I was blessed to be, because my dad was a trucker. He used to make me read the map in the passenger seat. So he showed me a long time ago on how to read a map. The Army enhanced how to read a map, so I can look at my GPS, so I can look at a map to be able to route plan and stuff. So, but that's the thing with a map. OG said, I saw Stoop Gang on YouTube can't just come together and respect one another for the sake of all of those who's following you. You know what? That's a good question. That's a good question. I think a lot of us, I think a lot of us who's in these particular situations, you know, as far as being owner operator, we all want to be a king. We all want to be the king of everything. You understand what I'm saying? So by being the king, we try to challenge everybody else. And I'm not gonna lie, I am one of those guys who did that. Even though I still stand firm on everything I said about the two dudes, I ain't gonna say their name for the sake of it, because I ain't trying to provoke the bear, and I don't want to go make another roast 2 video to get them all to be quiet. But to be honest, I think we all out here trying to be a king, and we also know that drama is what feeds views to our YouTube. Now, is to drive views, is to drive thumbs up, thumbs down, because believe it or not, if their channel is monetized, they are making more money off of it. So why not give the people what they want? A lot of people want to see that drama shit. Now at the same time, my channel is not monetized. My channel is never going to be monetized as far as I'm concerned. So for me, it's like a waste of my time, and that's what I realized going back and forth and doing that back and forth shit. I'd rather go back to, you know, doing the things that I was doing, how I started my channel, giving out information and making sure everybody's getting the right information. Now, put the money to the side, put the views to the side. The reason why I went after those two was because, like what I said, some people are just out here, they're giving false information and they're selling dreams when I'm out here trying to build reality. And I just can't respect a liar. At the end of the day, I can't respect a liar. You know, so that's probably why a lot of those YouTubers, us YouTube truckers, you know, that's probably a lot of the reason why we do that when we have that back and forth. It's because we're all trying to be the best at something that we all can excel in. Here in the trucking world, here's facts. One, as of right now, there's more freight than there is drivers. So what does that mean? That there's enough money for everybody to win who is in trucking today. Until that changes, until that changes, there's no need for anyone to argue, to be in the drama. That's just fact. That's just either because people are trying to make more money on the tube, or some people are just trying to make more money, um, and try to be like a king or like a Mr. Know-It-All. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know everything. I've said that in videos. I've said that. I'm saying that now. So I don't. Other than that, I can't really understand why a lot of us YouTubers want to beef with each other. You understand what I'm saying? Nightcrawler's in the building. What's happening, Nightcrawler? OG Trucking. Hopefully that answers your question, my dog. Hopefully it did. But as far as the glider kits, I definitely think glider kits is a great investment. You know, for the long term. Especially if you buy it straight out. You know, instead of leasing it out. That's how I feel about it. But you know, to each his own. So, in that video, you know, basically sustainable income is something that I wanted to hit on. Sustainable income, man. That income, I'm trying to tell you. That stuff, having sustainable income, just income for a rainy day. If even in your personal life, you call it an emergency fund, right? If you don't have no bills, or you don't have, or not if you don't have no bills, but if you don't have a job, or you just go through a hard time and you need your car fixed or something, having that emergency fund, that sustainable income, you know, that stuff will save you back. Right Lane Carrier said he gotta go make a delivery. I holler. Alright, man. Appreciate it. You stay safe out there. What do you think about this lease purchase? I'm gonna be honest with you. I went lease purchase. I know that there's some drivers out there who's went lease purchase, and then at the end of the lease purchase, they was able to walk away with a truck. Now, there lease purchase and stuff, and then you could do your own thing and you can make it. But my personal opinion of it is, I think lease purchase you can use as a tool. You understand what I'm saying? To establish yourself, one, as a business, and number two is to be able to set up your foundation, to work on your foundation, to give you that sustainable income that you need to come out here to succeed. Because not everything on this side, or even on my side, is all peachy and clean. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, my second flatbed load, being back into the season, like the whole load tilted. I spent $700, and I'm looking at a freight claim. So lease purchase to me, I feel like you could use it as a tool. You understand what I'm saying? Kojo Trucking said, I'm broke and credit is shot. The lease purchase program is the easiest way for me to get a truck of my own. Hey, and if that is what you got to do, man, I encourage you to go do it. I definitely encourage you to go do it. When I went lease purchase for the first time, I went with a small carrier called the Valley. That was the first time I came into becoming an owner-operator. And the reason why I recommend, if you do go lease purchase and you're on the miles, to make sure you're getting paid $1.10 plus fuel surcharge on all miles. Okay, $1.10 on all miles plus fuel surcharge. All right. And then actually in my next video, for the numbers don't lie, I'm gonna break down numbers, like as far as the mile side and the percentage side. You understand what I'm saying? But if you are used to chasing miles, I still recommend that if you come over to the owner operator side, to chase the miles. You understand what I'm saying? So that way you can kind of get the understanding of what it's actually like having the fuel come out of your pocket, having the maintenance come out of your pocket, having all of these expenses come out of your pocket, and then you working so hard to make sure that you're breaking even and profiting and stuff like that, that it's going to trigger something in your mind where you're like, you know what, I want to make more money, I want to do something else. And then you're going to start wanting to research the whole percentage side. And when you start researching the whole percentage side, then that's when I would move to come over here to percentage. But like I said, use lease purchase. I mean, and it's all subjective, but use so that way you can take 20, 30,000, put it down on the truck, get your truck out outright, go to another carrier that pays you better, you know, or come up with a down payment. Use it as a tool to fix your credit personally and start setting and establishing your credit business wise. Also, if y'all want a good place to go check out that can help y'all with establishing your business credit and helping making sure that you're starting your business off right, go check out Tune. Over there at YBE-TV. He's got his own channel. You know what I'm saying? I got Peaches in the building. What's happening? Boom and Goose says, who do I think has got the best lease purchase program? Again, that is all subjective. All right. Again, that is all subjective. I don't know too many mega carriers. I've never worked for a mega carrier, so I can't really suggest a mega carrier to go to as far as getting into like a lease purchase program that I know that you are set, that is good. It's not going to try to rip you, you know, from limb to limb. But I do know that there is some companies out there that has decent lease purchase programs. There is some. Okay, you have to really scour around the internet. You have to call some numbers on the back of the trailer. That's how I found the Valley Transportation, the LTI, for their lease purchase program, and they had a pretty decent one for really old trucks. But also at the same time, I'm not going to recommend Prime or JB Hunt or Warner because I don't honestly know. I know there is people that's like Be Smooth and some other people that's actually on YouTube. I think Woody is one of them, who went through these mega carriers, did lease purchase, and was actually able to complete the lease. So there is people out there that have success. But for me to like literally tell you which one is the best, I don't know. All I know is if you are going to do leasing or if you are going to do lease purchase, make sure the lease purchase and the leasing deal that you sign are true walkaway leases. Okay? For real. Make sure they are true walkaway leases. So the simple fact, if you do wind up at a carrier and you ain't making no money, you can walk away without having no repercussions done to your business credit, to your credit. You're not walking away with a whole bunch of debt in your pocket. You just walk away from it, and that's that. You understand what I'm saying? And then you can get into a new job, a new career, a new whatever you got to do to get back onto your grind and onto your hustle. That is my only recommendation for anyone trying to do lease or lease purchase. Man, questions getting good. So I'm not going to talk bad about lease purchase. I started out lease purchase. You understand what I'm saying? I failed at lease purchase when I first came in because of the knowledge and stuff that I'm giving y'all. The reason why I failed at it is because I wasn't at a point in my life or at a point where I was ready to just sit down and listen to people. And that was like one of the worst mistakes I ever did. All right. Me and my wife and I, we blew through almost $2,500 a week off of straight running. I would run, you know, sometimes anywhere between 2,900 miles to 3,000 miles. I got paid a flat rate of $1.55, but that was when I was doing a dedicated run from Chicago Heights down to basically Kansas City, Missouri, or Claycoma, doing that automotive thing back when we was on paper logs. So also I'll run some extra loads and stuff like that to make sure that I'm eating real good. My first year doing lease purchase, I made $250,000 gross. And on average, I was averaging roughly about 2,500 a week in my pocket, 23 to 2,500 a week in my pocket. So where I messed up at is I started balling before I needed it, before I could. I started balling way too early. Me and my wife, we went on a honeymoon. We got a house, we got a car, we got all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We did all kinds of things. I took my wife out to fancy dinners, fancy restaurants, thinking that I'm the shit because I didn't think that $2,500 a week in my pocket was ever going to change. So then trucking happened. You understand what I'm saying? The route that we was on started slowing down. Not only did it start slowing down, they dropped the rates on us. So these are things that you have to prepare yourself for. That's why I made these videos. People told me this when I first started, but I refused to listen. Okay? People told me this when I first started, but I refused to listen. You can get into a lease purchase deal, you know what I'm saying? And you can make a lot of money, a lot of bread. But you have to budget yourself, and this is my thing. You have to budget your home and run your home like a business. Pay yourself what your lifestyle requires. Boo Magoo said, what year was the truck? How much were the payments? When I first went lease purchase, the first truck I had was a black Freightliner Columbia. It was a 2006, Detroit 60 series. And when I say that truck was a beast. It was $400 a week in payments plus $200 a week in escrow. They paid for all the repairs, and I just paid the $200 off to get the repairs off. So again, the reason why I didn't make it because I didn't know what I was doing. So as lease purchase. So that was in the beginning of my career. I tell you now, it's all about, if I had to do it all over again, I would have never, bought that truck straight out. But when I was at a point where in the beginning I was making 2,500, 23 to 2,500 bucks a month or a week in my pocket, I should have took that money. I should have saved that, and I would have been able to buy this truck straight out. Now I'm gonna give y'all a little tool or a little jewel about something. You can go to a carrier, okay? Y'all can go to a carrier and y'all can go get a brand new truck through the old lease purchase deal, and you're still spending over $3,000 a month just for the truck. Or you can go to another carrier and y'all can go get an old truck, do a lease purchase deal, buy one straight out, however y'all want to do it, and still spend, less, for the payment, but you might be spending more for the repair. If you want the best of both worlds, go get you a mid-year truck. This is a 2013 Freightliner Cascadia. I've had very minimal problems with it. Very minimal problems. So it's reliable, and plus it's cheap at the same time. I got a 2014, in Chicago running around, and to go get PMs. Not once had a check engine light or DPF warning. It came on, and that truck cost me $1,100 a month. This truck cost me $24, but I'm paying it off. I had a 2.5-year plan on it, and I'm paying it off. So that's the only reason. So I would say, if you want cheapness as well as reliability, instead of going and getting you a brand new truck or a super old raggedy truck, get you a mid-year truck. Mid-year truck gives you that reliability that you are seeking, and it also gives you the cheaper payments. That way you're not killing yourself, and at the same time, you out here and you making dough. I got Trucker Gil in the building, Sierra in the building. How you doing? I think I said your name right. The chosen one, Sierra, the chosen one. Peaches is in the building. So yeah, but as far as like lease purchase goes, I will use lease purchase as a tool. This is just me looking back at it, to be able to set up my finances to the way I need them, to make sure I got my business running right. And once I set up my foundation, that sustainable income that I need, I will cut a portion of that, 10, 15, 20K. If I got well over that in the account, to go out and either put money down on the truck from a third source or whatever, it's a mid-year, and go with another carrier. I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't spend too much time or a long time being a lease purchase, doing a 5-year deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. To everybody, to each its own. Some people rather go leasing and lease their truck. Power to you. But the name of the game is keep your overhead down as much as possible. Me over here, I really don't have that much overhead. That's why I'm not pressured to do anything. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not pressured to do a lot of stuff. I'm hiring, but I'm not really pushing it hard. I feel like the right driver is going to come to me, going to come to me, on his own will or her own will, whether they're teams or whether they're solo, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So, but that's because my overhead is low. I can pay all of my bills off of this one truck and me running it. So that's how low my overhead is. So, but any more questions? I mean, come on now. I just dropped 2 informational videos on it. Sustainable income, that stuff is important, man. Sustainable income, that right there is what's going to make or break anybody. If you don't have sustainable income, it just takes that one blow, that one pow to knock you down in business. Like Chucky Gill says, run your business like a business, you're going to become successful. But if you run your business like a hobby, it's going to cost you like a hobby. Swear to God, I'm going to always use that. I ain't never said it like that, but that's what he said, and I just been copying him because that's real. That's honest to God real. You want to know if I have any automatics? Not at this time. No. I got 2 10-speeds. I was looking at some Volvos over the weekend, and I seen a couple that was automatic. But to be honest, and it's just my preference, I prefer not to have automatics. Maybe just because the area I run a lot of the Midwest, and I also run a little bit down south. Oh yeah. Hey Gil, 900 miles for $3,000. What you say about that? Going to Georgia. So, I booked the load today that picks up tomorrow morning. I'm already here. I'm a mile away from where I got to pick up. I'm going from Goshen, however you say it, Indiana, down to Fitzgerald, Georgia. It's like 960 miles for $3,000. So it's not a bad run. $3,000 start my week off right. I get down there, easily to find me a load going back up to Nashville for a little over $5 a mile on a flatbed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not too shabby. You know what I'm saying? Now that's what I'm doing. You wanna know how I make that deal? I pick up the phone. Well, here's how I started. I got 1, 2, 3 load board. I also got Trucker's Edge. I just wanted something a little different. I had a bad week with the coils, so I kind of don't want to touch coils right now. I started looking. I seen this one run. It looked interesting. I know where it was taking me to. My flatbed's 48. I seen this one run. I seen that it was taking me to a pretty decent area. I called. So when I called about it, when I called the broker, and the broker is Total Quality, so it's not the best broker in the world. We all know that. So when I called, I talked to Total Quality about it. They said that we need a truck ASAP. Now, one of the key things in business that everybody, if you ever book and choose your own loads, one of the key things that you need to understand is listening. People are going to tell you how desperate they are if you just listen. Okay? Total Quality says we need a truck there ASAP. And I'm like, all right, well, I get it. I asked what was the weight, what was the commodity. weight's 44,000. The commodity is axles, camper axles, which I've never hauled them, but it's strap and go, obviously. So so now tomorrow I get to go pick up. I get to go pick up. I get to go pick up these axles and stuff. But the way he was sounding, he said he needed it urgently. So he told me to throw out a number. So 960 miles, just for me to get $2 out of it. Obviously, I had to be at 2,000, you know, to get at least $2 a mile. I wanted over it. The longer the miles, you also know that it's cheaper. You know, or excuse me, the longer the miles, you also know that it's going to be cheaper on the freight, just to be honest with you, especially dealing with spot market. So you're not going to get a lot out of you're not going to get a lot when you going not coast to coast, but long distance. That's why I like the short hops, because you tend to get paid a little bit better. But when you start sounding like he's desperate, you up the rate. So I said 3K. He said no problem. If I would have said 35, he probably would have said no problem. So, you know, so that's why I took that load. And I know that the area that's going to put me, I'm going to get something good out of it. All right, I got so that's basically how I made a deal. My flatbed is a 48. Lady DeWanda's in the building. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a long time. She said, how are you and the mama? Hey, mama is doing good. You should go check out her last video, man. She put together a stroller. Almost everything in our baby room she done put together. Everything but the chair. So she did the baby room basically all by herself. I basically put everything to get like everything, like painted the room. I painted the room, I mean, she helped paint, don't get me wrong. But I painted the room, I put the shelves up in there, and then everything else, she just decorated it, put the crib together and all of that. That woman could do a lot. All right, Jerry May, and I don't know if I'm saying Jerry M, excuse me. I don't know if I said your name right, Jare or Jerry. I'm just going to say Jerry, dude. I don't know your name like that. He said, I made 96K at Walmart last year. If you was making that as a company driver, would you give it up? I mean, what I want to do and when to do it. And if anyone who comes over here and drives for me, they'll be on 1099. That's the difference between my company and a lot of everybody else's. If you want to go and run the East Coast, you can run the East Coast. If you want to load that goes to your hometown, wherever that is, to take you home every other day, I work my ass off to make that happen. If you say, you know what, I want to go to Texas, I want to go to Cali, I would send you out there. But in doing so, I'm going to make sure that I put you on with the right load that makes the most money, so that way we're both happy at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you got to look inside yourself. Do you want to be controlled, or do you want to control? You understand what I'm saying? Do you want people whispering in your ear and telling you how to do things, or do you want to make your own way of doing it? If you are more of like a free spirited thinker, if you want to be in control, if you want to own your own business, and trucking is the way it goes, hey, I don't care if I'm making $100,000 a year after taxes. I would quit all of that just to literally what I'm doing now. Even though it's more stressful, even though it's a little bit more harder at times, I will I was dealing with TQL earlier. Even though it's a little bit more stressful, it's a little bit harder. You understand what I'm saying? But I would not change up at all. I would never go back to being a company driver. I won't. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's about what you want. And I can't really answer that. Me personally, I don't care what the hell you offering me per mile. I can make more than that by doing it on my own. And I'd rather do it on my own. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta search down in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Transport trucker, he says I average $2.50 a mile. Lady Dewana says I'll check you out, or you check her out. All right, well that's cool. And you say you make that 250 consistently. Yeah, that's not bad. I average about 257 a mile on average with a dry box. So that's what I average. But I gotta redo the numbers. But I gotta give it like at least another month before I could do that. OG says you got the right format. Like you said, it takes the right driver. Your end is set. You're right. You're right. See, the thing is, a lot of times, one of the biggest problems, a lot of us brand new, you didn't keep 250 G's. Hey, like you said, I don't need to sit here and go explain my bank account. But anyway, check this out though, man. I gotta read that comment one more time. I'm not pressured to do anything. You know what I'm saying? When you keep a low overhead and you keep and you find multiple ways to form income streams, okay? You're essentially doing yourself a favor. You understand what I mean? I'm not going to say I'm buying time or anything like that, but I put myself in a place where I don't have to stress so hard. You know what I'm saying? Both my trucks are making me money, even though I'm the only one driving a truck. You understand what I'm saying? And if you guys didn't catch my last live stream, I went into detail on how I made that possible. Okay, when I also got my own customer base. So right there's 3 different ways I'm getting paid just off of one business. Also, I do photography. So financially, I'm good as far as like I'm still making money. I'm still pumping money into the business. I mean, I have my shortcomings just like on my last load where all my coil shifted. You understand what I'm saying? But also at the same time, the money that I lose, I'm making double that, triple that. I have one guy in mind right now that I'm just waiting for his paperwork, and I'm waiting for him to make that the decision on what he's got to do as far as on his end. I'm not gonna go into too much of the detail, but waiting on his paperwork and waiting on some other things to basically get him set to come over here. You understand what I'm saying? When he comes over here as a solo driver, we'll be making money together. And I'm not pressured. I'm not sticking my neck way out to go and say, I need all of these drivers or I need all of this. You know what I'm saying? That's the benefit of making sure that you have a secure to that. I didn't keep 250 G's. Well, if you find multiple streams of income, especially within one company, grossing over $300,000, grossing nearly $400,000. I was about $29,000 off from $40,000. It's kind of easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? But it's not impossible to do. As far as, in case y'all don't know, I mean, y'all know y'all see me home every now and then, but the only reason why I'm home as much as I'm home is because my wife is pregnant and can't be out here. I generally don't go home. My house, for a whole year and a half, it's been empty. You understand what I'm saying? Where I used to have my mother-in-law, my father-in-law come by the house and check on it to make sure everything's good and take the mail inside. Me and my wife used to be out here every day. Okay, so I generally work 52 weeks out of 52 weeks. No time off. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have to throw numbers. You know, actually, Chuck Gay, you need to let me hold something. You know what I'm saying? All right. Sierra asked me how old I am. I am 29. 29. I'll be 30 in September. God damn, I'm getting on. And I got my first fucking gray hair right here. I don't know if y'all can see it and shit, but I got my first one. So, so Booming Goose says I haven't driven a manual in 3 years. Need to relearn. You have any suggestions? I'm gonna tell you the same thing that most instructors tell their students. Go home. Get on the toilet, right? Get on the toilet, right? Grab your plunger. grab your plunger. Alright? Right foot is your accelerating foot, so you make sure you pushing on the accelerating, double clutch with your left and shift with your right hand. That's the best practice. I did that shit in school. This shit helped out a lot until I had to take a test. But that, other than that, the other way is actually just get in someone's truck and just kind of practice. If you got experience and stuff, if you got over a year experience, man, and send me an email. My email is asfx15@gmail.com if you're looking for a new job. OG said I don't hear nobody else throwing numbers around like that. No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Instead, the same people that is afraid to expose their own numbers wants to tell me to expose mine. Which, again, that's why I'm making this series called Numbers Don't Lie. Not only am I going to eventually expose my numbers, and understand what I'm saying, I'm going to expose my numbers. But not only am I going to do that, in the process up to it, I'm going to show you guys how to make them same exact numbers. The question is, at the end of the day, the information I'm putting out, are you guys willing to listen and put that work in? At the end of the day, you got to put the work in. At the end of the day, you got to put the work in. Nothing I say matters, and nothing you do matters unless you're willing to put that damn work in. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I got some good numbers. That's what Gil saying. He does. OG said, here, that's why you here. Start laughing. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Boom and Goo. It is like riding a bike. Once you learn it, it'll be easy again. Now, for those who don't know, Chucky Gill's my mentor. So when I say that Chucky Gill's only here because he's just trying to entertain himself, he got tired of masturbating his face. But Chucky Gill is my mentor, man. And some of the information that y'all hearing from me, you're actually getting it from him as well. You understand what I'm saying? Where I'm trying to be is where Chucky Gill's at. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm trying to be is where Chucky Gill's at. So, I rather, this is the thing too. I'm gonna say it like this. Even here on the YouTube, be careful on who y'all taking y'all information from. You know what I'm saying? Even if the person that y'all getting y'all information from has nothing but good intentions, and we all do. I will say that. I think we all have good intentions. We're all trying to help everybody else out. Well, make sure whatever information y'all taking, okay, make sure y'all do the research behind it before you try it out, before you do any of it. You understand what I'm saying? Even my information, take it, research it. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, research some of the stuff that I told y'all, like the financial bubble, net revenue, stuff like that, sustainable income. Check this out. In the untitled video, which is going to be a title on as soon as I fix it, I was talking about sustainable income. You understand what I'm saying? I already recorded the video, already had it put together. I just needed to put it out there. Chucky Gill was talking to me yesterday on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And sustainable income was the basis of this whole video. Chuck Gill was talking to me yesterday or day before yesterday on the phone, and he goes, you know, problem with some of these truckers, they don't have a lot of sustainable income and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that is why, and it's kind of funny. Excuse me for babbling. It's kind of funny that that was the basis of my video. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching y'all something that he didn't have to teach me, basically. You know, I'm putting something out there that I'm like, you know, it's kind of funny on how this shit is. You know, so I just want to say that. Guilty in the building, everybody. Guilty 718. He said, go to sleep, Aaron. You babbling. The day I take a order from a damn Loch Ness monster himself, I think you need to go back in the lake or something. You know, go back into hiding. You're scaring everybody. You're the only person I know that's got a bulldog face. Okay, that was a retarded joke. I ain't even gonna lie. That was stupid. But yeah, man. But that's basically it. You know, Guilty is a cool dude, man. For anyone who doesn't know Guilty, go check him out. Guilty 718. That's his channel. Go check out his gear too. Definitely. But other than that, better talk to me tomorrow, man. You don't ever call me no more. Nothing. Nobody calls me no more. I'm all alone out here in the wilderness by my goddamn self. I'm lost. I'm in white people territory. I'm afraid I'm gonna die. Shit. Literally, right before I went live, I seen a bill. Y'all remember Broncos? Them what is it, Chevy Broncos or the Ford Bronco? I don't know. It looks like a fucking Explorer. But this dude had a rebel flag on the back of it. I got scared. I went, I grabbed my little thing, had it sitting on the seat. I was ready. They know if they see a shadow in the truck, that means they know a black guy in here. And I ain't trying to die. And y'all, but other than that, man, that's basically what this was about. Was just a Q&A, just to see, you know, if you guys had any questions about that. Anything about trucking, let me know. Y'all asked about glider kits, y'all asked about lease purchase. What else y'all want to know? How often do you pay taxes on 1090? Every quarter at the end of the year. I think you mean 1099. But a 1090 EZ, something a little bit different. But on a 1090, you would want to file your taxes every quarter. 1099, you have the luxury of filing your taxes every quarter. Depends on how you really set up. If you're a sole proprietor or you got a C corp, every quarter. All right, if you're a sole proprietor, if you're S corp or a sole proprietor, you can file your taxes on a 1099 every year, and they only take out 15%. That's actual facts. If you're a C corp LLC, okay, which is a C corp, you have to file every quarter, and not only do you have to file every quarter, you also have to give yourself an annual salary. Believe it or not, not a lot of people know that. So, and that's because the IRS said so. So make sure if you do get your LLC, if you're trying to hire, set it up underneath S corp, and so that way you can still use business fund as personal income if you need to. I don't recommend doing that, but there will be times where, like, especially flatbed, and I have to go out and I have to go buy like some new chans or some more dunnage boards because I don't have enough, and I rather take it out of my business account, keep the receipt, write it off from taxes, you know, like I do any other time, and then file. Me generally, I file. This year is a little different. I'm actually going to go file my first quarter taxes at the end of this month. But what you got to do is I generally file my taxes at the end of the year and just give them 15% of what I net. So, not that hard. All right. I got some more people in here. Talk to you tomorrow, Guilty. Roast beef. Which I don't know Why that name is funny as hell. Roast beef goes, what that old fool Ricky hating on you, bro? That was my fault. You know what I'm saying? I made a video called No Subliminals, just straight shots. You know what I'm saying? I made a video called No Subliminals, just straight shots. And damn. I mean, doggone boonies. I mean, Amish Village too. I'm not too far. Middlebury, Indiana, which is a big old Amish community, so it's not too shabby. And no problem, Boo Magoo. But yeah, as far as that, the beef goes between me and hey man, it's no problem. He goes, but nah, bro, appreciate your content. Hey, look, I know I kind of went off to the left or to the right, but I'm back in the center lane now, doing, going back to doing what I usually do. Try to educate, try to motivate, and try to entertain everybody. That's what I'm gonna try to do here for YouTube. I ain't gonna get into that drama shit no more. I should have listened to some people when they told me not to stress out about it, but you know what I'm saying? As far as Ricky goes, hey man, I still support the dude. I'm still sub to his channel. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and at the end of it, it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out what the hell he mean by he found me. But other than that, man, I just want to stop through. See if anyone has any more questions. If you guys have any more questions, here goes that drama issues week, bro. Hey, you know what? I will say, look, I will say this. The drama stuff, in a nutshell, I could have avoided. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the whole drama shit between me and TB and Low. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I only apologize to Ricky because I was clearly wrong in the whole Ricky bullshit. Like, I was clearly wrong. That was a mistake I made. And I still stand firm on everything that I said and put out there about TB and Low. I don't really care how they take it. I don't really care on what they got to say back. I really don't care. I stand on the words that I said about them. But at the end of the day, the whole drama shit towards all three of them, all of them over there, I could have avoided. You know what I'm saying? I could have just kept doing what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I could have just stayed in my own lane without venturing out of it. That's what I could have done. You understand what I mean? So as far as that goes, all the backlash that I received, I actually deserved it. Like, I'll admit that I actually deserved that shit. You know what I mean? So it didn't hurt me any. I don't think it did. But as far as that goes, it's just what it is. DB1036 says, hey man, forget about the drama bullshit, move forward. Hey, I already did all of that, bro. He goes, how about this question? Why don't you contact Quality and try to get on their carrier list so that you can bring drivers onto your company? See, Quality is a lease purchase. Me personally, myself, I'm not hiring drivers on a lease purchase status. I'm not doing that. I'm looking for independent contractors on 1099 for them to be on 1099. But as far as having them take a down payment to go to Quality or anything like that to come over here to run off my own authority, and I don't even have my authority, but to run off of my business name and stuff like that, no, I'm not ready for all of that. I don't think I'll ever would like or would want to do a business deal with Quality because it's just not a company that I can see myself working with, even under my own authority with my own customer freight. Just because I've seen a lot of people in that no man, you ain't offend me in that. Yeah, to roast beef, you're right. There ain't nothing wrong with calling out bullshit, but you know what? As far as that, there ain't nothing wrong for calling out bullshit. It is what it is. I agree with you on that. But when we all got different platforms, we all got different images. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't need to interject myself in them. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't need to go after them. I could have let them continue to keep doing them and fucking up other people's lives and shit. I could have let them do that. You know what I'm saying? And I could have mind my own business. That was what I did wrong. I could have just stayed over here and waited till one of them started fucking with me. That is the truth about that. So as far as like growing pains, humbling, like, I can start responding to those who make some bullshit about me, and then it'll be a different whole story. But other than that, like, I didn't need to start that. I will admit I started that shit. You know what I'm saying? At least from my end. I didn't have to get in between nothing. I didn't have to do nothing, and I did what I did. And I did call out bullshit, and the reason behind it is because I got a lot of passion for the game I'm in. I got a lot of passion for this industry. So it's troubling when you do get some people that rather teach people a whole bunch of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of bullshit, and then here you are, you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I had one guy I couldn't hire for some bullshit that I couldn't hire. But the whole reason why he wanted to come home and try it out with me is because indirectly of their information. You know what I'm saying? So I will admit that, I stepped out of my own lane. I stepped out of my own place. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to do that. Not saying anything bad came from it, but it is what it is. DB1036 says, in other words, let them lease a truck from Quality and sign on to your carrier. That's the thing. As of right now, they can sign on to our carrier if they had their own truck, or go through any method of Quality. They can sign on to the carrier I'm leased to, but they won't technically work up under me. They'll be on their own. But as far as me going to Quality, or me actually working with Quality after I established my own authority and had it for a while, I don't think that is a business deal that I would want to be in. For the simple fact, Quality is known to have some bad deals, basically. And the worst thing I want to do is, even if I start opening my arms out and saying, hey, come do lease purchase with A&S Freight Express, because we got our own numbers and we got trailers that they can haul, whatever. I don't want people to come over to A&S Freight Express on a bad deal that 9 times out of 10 people fell at, if that makes sense. To anyone who has a truck from Quality and Quality's treating them right, or they pay the truck off from Quality and they got nothing but good things to say about them, hey, that's good to marry. Not everybody is as fortunate as that particular individual, and 9 out of 10 individuals usually fail at Quality's leasing program. You know what I'm saying? Just like Primes, just like anywhere else. If someone is going to come over to A&S Freight Express one day, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not ready for that right now as a company. But once I go get my own numbers and I go get some more trailers and stuff like that, once people come over here as an owner operator doing lease purchase, okay, I want to be able to make sure that then people are actually able to succeed in a way that it's easier for them and it's good for both of us. So that's what I was trying to mean by towards Quality. Alright, Roast Beef said, right, I respect that. Roast Beef said, sometimes you gotta do that to help folks out that just don't know any better. Someone commented on my video the other day. I want to say his name is Trucking Testimonies or something, Testimonies. And he said that Menlo could be multi-millionaires if we just put our egos to aside and build a business relationship with each other. I can't do business or respect the person in his business that rather sell people a whole bunch of lies. You understand what I'm saying? Put my ego to the side. It doesn't speak from my passion. You know what I'm saying? But he's honestly right. I don't mind telling people that they're wrong about something. There's difference between constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day, like when my core was tilted forward. You know the guy, the owner of the carrier I'm leased to, his name is Ivan. He said, you know, I could have threw, because at the end of the day I couldn't prevent what happened. At the end of the day I couldn't prevent what happened. But instead of him treating me like a person that should have known all of this, because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I had it strapped down, I had it tied down the way I was supposed to, but I could have did it in a different method that made it a lot easier for me to be able to not have it tilt in a certain situation like that. Now, if I was one of them guys, if I had one of them guys that, or if I was one of them guys or had one of them guys that act like that they just know everything, you know what I'm saying? Then the way for me to be able to treat him like a brother and be like, hey, you know what, you're acting stupid, I'm going to have to be more blunt with it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not really constructive. It's more like insulting. You know, as far as that goes, people who lies and saying that they're winning, you know what I'm saying? I can't be cool with that. That's like me being in the hood being cool with a rat. I can't do that. I can't, not morally, not at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you talk about you winning, but at the same time, you came on your own video and talk about how you spent donation money to pay your bills and the truck payment. But if you had sustainable income, it would have covered all that. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect people who act like there's something that they're not. I can't do that. So that's why I went through the approach that I did. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make me any more right, but that's how I feel about it. DB says, I think most people fail in this, is my opinion, because I wasn't Prime because they accepted that cheap freight. At Prime, they cost elite. Let me try to reread this because I'm confusing about it. He said, I think most people fail in this, is my opinion, because they accept that cheap freight, and at Prime, with the cost of the lease that I had to do a $1.40 per mile just to break even. So that's why I said that, man. I just wish you well and wish you the girl as much as possibly can keep it up, my brother. Look, real simple. Low couldn't make it as a lease operator for Prime, but yet she goes back to Prime under somebody else's numbers, and that somebody else is leased on to him Prime. So you tell me how many cuts that is of the pie. I said it like this before. Prime, being the mega carrier that it is in a position that I'm not in. The carrier that I work for is not in. Prime is in a position where they get their freight by volume. And when you get your freight by volume, that means you're honestly giving your customers a discount on the promise that they're going to have these many loads for this particular carrier at any given time. That is Prime's position. I don't fault Prime for being in there. Okay, so then Prime has also got a brokerage firm. You know what I'm saying? That the overwhelming number of loads that Prime has, they outsource it to Prime's brokerage. Okay, which utilizes those contract carriers like such as RST or some other ones, to do these loads called power only moves. Power only moves is sort of like what I did for JB Hunt and their brokers doing the Amazon Prime. Power only moves basically means I utilize someone else's trailer, which I have two JB Hunt trailers sitting in my yard right now, okay, to move these specific customers' freight. Now, the thing is I've looked around because I wanted to find more power only moves. So, as far as retarded as I might be, I actually like looking at options. It's again research, research, research. So, Prime's trailers are meant for Prime's freight. You can haul broker freight only if you got Prime's broker's approval on it, if it's coming from an outsourced broker. So, in other words, if I had Prime's trailer, I'll pick it up from Prime's customer. I'll go deliver it at Prime's customer or Prime's receiver, consignee or whatever. And then I'm going to need a backhaul if they don't have a drop and hook right there at the receiver to go somewhere else with it, right? So then if I need a backhaul to get me into a certain location, but Prime's brokers don't have no backhaul loads in that, I'd have to call and be like, look, I found this load here and here. Do I have y'all's approval to take it? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. But that's a lot of work for nothing, okay? So, and then basically, Prime's trailers are used for Prime's freight. Nothing more, nothing less. So, an average load that Prime may get for $4 a mile, okay, on 1,000 miles, you're talking about at least 4,000 a pop, okay, from coast to coast, and even that could be wrong, but at least $3 or $4 on average that Prime will get. They'll give it to their broker. So I use the easy number. They'll get a load on 500 miles. It pays $1,000, $2 a mile, 500 miles. So Prime will take that load, give it to the broker, and takes up to 30% off of that load. That's $700. You understand what I'm saying? Now that broker is going to give it to the carrier. The carrier now just took another 30% of $700. Okay, now it's down to $600, $650, something like that in that aspect. And then the carrier is going to take another percentage off of it to that driver and give it to either the company drivers or they're going to give it to the other lease operator. You understand what I'm saying? So essentially, you're leaving 90% of that freight on the table. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? My carrier that I'm leased to is not leased to any carrier. We're our own entity. I'm leased onto a carrier that has its own little customer base, and I came with my own little customer base. My carrier is not leased on to JB Hunt. And the way JB Hunt's brokerage is set up is a lot different than JB Hunt's company set up. The brokerage does not compete with JB Hunt company drivers at all. It's a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? JB Hunt brokerage deals with all of Amazon Prime. Dead serious. That's all they do. And how their power only move is set up is I can haul one load a week. I can do a drop and hook, let's say from Rockford, Illinois, going to Brownstown, Michigan. That load pays about $1,300 on a little over 300 miles. That's $4 a load right there. Now, I don't have to go and, once I go and drop in the hook and I get an empty trailer, I don't have to go to another Amazon facility and go pick up another JB Hunt load. I could go anywhere I want, do anything I want to do with that particular JB Hunt trailer. Don't believe me? I got 2 trailers sitting in my yard right now that are JB Hunts, but they're mine. They're in my yard. So that means I don't have no limitations. You understand what I'm saying? So OG Trucking says ego is definitely separate from passion. And you're right, it is. Roast Beef said right. content, fam. Definitely will. As always, man, you be safe out there. Jersey Witter, Jersey. I don't know how to say a name, but it starts with a J-E-R. I'm just call you Jer. What's happening? Welcome to Truck of Truth. Alex D. And I'm starting driving now, but I really want to know, how does the ELD work at Landstar? Does it go to drive line as soon as you move, or how does it work? Also, what do you think a good company is to get a truck? Um, I say it like this. I've never worked for Landstar. So for me to comment on their ELD, I don't know, because I don't know what kind of ELD they are using. I You say you got 4 years and I'm driving to the Bronx now. Alright, well, I'm gonna answer your question real quick. ELDs are essentially the same, even though they got different platforms, different types now. ELD is essentially the same. As long as you stay underneath 5 miles an hour and you don't drive more than a mile, you don't have to worry about your ELD kicking on. Some ELDs allows you to use personal conveyance up to 90 minutes or longer. Depends on how your company has it set up. Where me, I could drive 500 miles on off-duty personal conveyance. Because I got Keep Trucking, and how I got it set up is I got that option. Alright, DB, you take it easy. You be safe out there, bro. So it really depends on Landstar spec. So that's something that I would have to refer you to Landstar Safety Department to basically get that question answered. But essentially, almost all e-logs work the same as far as that goes. And you said, what is a good company to buy a truck? Hey, that depends on your situation. I don't know where you're from. You said that you're on your way to the Bronx. But again, I don't know what your financial situation is. I got my truck out of Chicago. No, both my trucks out of Chicago at a place called Compass Leasing. Okay, they got some pretty decent trucks. They're staying behind it. And so far, the 2 trucks that I bought from them, I don't really have any issues with them. Not at all. This one is the only one that had a little bit of issues with the DEF, but I got that fixed. So that's basically what I like to sit here and say. You said you are in Rhode Island. You roll local. See, I don't know nothing about the East Coast, man. I don't even go there. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't see Rhode Island. I don't want to go to Rhode Island. I don't want to do none of that. The DB, you be safe, bro. You definitely hold it down. You understand? But I've never been to Rhode Island. I don't know nothing about Rhode Island. If I was you, almost everything in the East Coast is more expensive than what it is here. Like in the Indiana, Michigan, in the Midwest area. You know what I'm saying? If I was you, as far as trying to buy equipment, I would seek trying to come to somewhere outside of Rhode Island to buy something, because at 1, you'll get more bang for your buck, and 2, you might have more money in the back burner. You know what I'm saying? Just in case if you was to buy a truck straight out or whatever, it would definitely be more beneficial to you. But some places, I don't think Compass Leasing does. But then again, I only live in Michigan. Compass Leasing is out of Chicago. So some places do have a clause where you can only live in certain states to be able to buy from them or finance from them. But, you could also just check around. So that's my only recommendation on that. So, is there any more questions? Now I'm about to wrap this up. I gotta be up at 6. Alright, man. Well, I'm about to go ahead and get up off of here. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Alex D, as far as that goes, like I said, just ask Landstar about their ELD, and I'll just research around. I don't know any place where you can get a decent truck out of like Rhode Island or New York or anything like that. But if Trucker Gil still in here, he might be able to answer that question. So I don't know if he got the question or not. But anyway, I'm about to head up out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys on the other side. I don't care if y'all heard it over there. I hope the guys y'all didn't hear from over there. Because over here, I'm gonna give y'all the mother trucker truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Peace.